Hello, good evening, and welcome to the Eid al-Adha edition of Newsnight. And coming up in the next 30 minutes, 16-year-old boy killed by stray bullet, another injured in Eid celebrations in Abuabo in the Ashanti region after a group of young men fired gunshots indiscriminately to mark the day.
The boy is dead. Araba Koomson is the name. 16 years of age. He wasn't part of those shooting, but it was a stray bullet that hit him that caused the death.
President Akufo-Addo warns of dire times ahead if the COVID-19 safety protocols are continuously flouted, as he blames the current surge in cases on the lack of adherence to the preventive protocols.
We can only minimize its health effect and avoid a full-blown third wave if we continue to be responsible and observe the safety protocols.
Meanwhile, police in the Ashanti region deny claims they brutalized students of Kumasi Girls SHS who were on rampage after being denied the opportunity to go on a mid-semester break due to COVID-19 fears.
I mean, it will be foolhardy for any police officer or military man to go into a girls' dormitory to attack girls. No, I don't think that is true.
We have details also when a $1 million check gets you in trouble with the law.
So the check was a faith check, not real check. Faith, F-A-I-T-H.
Renowned man of God, Apostle General Koranche Ankra explains circumstances surrounding the wedding gift for his daughter, which has the GRA running after her. In business,
expect call for increase in local production of foodstuffs to deal with the surge in prices of some imported goods due to spike in freight cost.
And later in the bulletin, why you should make the Volta region your holiday destination.
Everything you want to see in Ghana is right in here. So once you come in here, once you visit Volta, you have experienced Ghana. Go home and sleep.
More as my colleague Emefa Apau explores the region's vast tourism sector ahead of the Volta Fair in November. Thanks again for your company. I'm Araba Koomson. This is your home of independent, fearless and credible journalism. Let's settle for the details now. And a 16-year-old boy has been killed by a stray bullet and another person injured at Abuabo No. 2, a suburb in the Asokore Mampong municipality of the Ashanti region, after a group of young men fired gunshots indiscriminately as part of activities to mark the Eid al-Adha. The deceased, Abdul Gafaru Kasim, was hit by the stray bullet when he went out to observe the celebrations in the community. Uncle of the deceased, Suleimana Umar, tells Joy News they are shocked at the turn of events for a celebration which was supposed to be peaceful.
So coming to prayer, we have to come and prepare and go and celebrate how we are clearing the cow on our road. So we just hear the call that they should Abdul Kasim. So that is why we went there. And as we went there, we just saw the dead body. And the person when he just shoot him, there's one woman, she selling cake. The woman let the boy run. So that is why we are here. And we Muslims, we don't want to our dead body to be sometimes in mortuary. That is why we are here. We want to know what is going on. But as the police gone there and check everything before they bring the body here. That's why we are here.
Love FM's Prince Appiah has been monitoring this situation. He joins us on the line. Prince, clearly this is a celebration gone bad. Tell us exactly what happened.
So, yes, it is a celebration gone bad because after the afternoon prayers, these young men had gathered and they were over-celebrating to the extent that some of them had guns and started putting out warning shots. And it was through that process that, unfortunately, one of the shots mistakenly hit this gentleman who was not even part of their group, who was some were decided to go home, and he was just passing, and this stray bullet caught up with him. And so after that happened, we are told that these persons who were involved in this particular activity, most of them had to run away. One other person who was part of the group, unfortunately, also got hit by the stray bullet, by this time on the lower part of his right eye. And so both of them were sent to the Menchia Government Hospital, and it was there that 16-year-old Kasim Gafaru was pronounced dead. But the other person, as at now, has been treated and discharged, and currently under the care of the police to assist them with the investigations of what exactly might have caused this particular incident.
Right, Prince, and the MCE for Asokore Mampong, Ali Dusedu, he's indicated that police officers, including forensic experts, have been deployed to the crime scene. You've been speaking to him. What else did he say?
What else he mentioned was that currently there is a ban on activity as part of the COVID protocols, and so all the residents in that particular municipality must observe that. Again, what he's saying that police and security presence will be kept in these particular areas, and areas they suspect that these persons who were involved in this particular incident might have gone to hide.
All right, many thanks for that update. That is Prince Appiah, our correspondent in Kumasi, following up on this story. But as he indicated, he spoke to the MCE. We can hear from the MCE now.
There was a shooting incident. I go to Ababo number 2 to ascertain the truth in it, just to be informed that as part of the celebration, other guys gathered at a spot were shooting in the process. Then a stray bullet hits this small boy at the age of, by age 16. He's called Abdul Ghaffar Kasim. He passed on. So I came to the hospital, Menchia Hospital, to ascertain the authenticity of the report I had, just to confirm that yes, the boy is dead, and he's still with the doctors, going through processes to make sure that the right thing is done. So currently, that's where we are. The boy is dead. Abdul Ghaffar Kasim is the name. 16 years of age. He wasn't part of those shooting, but it was a stray bullet that hit him that caused the death.
We know you are the head of the Municipal Security Council, and when this issue happened, you have been following up. Has there been any police deployment in terms of intensified patrol within this area?
Police have already been deployed to some of the areas. You know, when it happened this way, we dwell more on intelligence. Intelligence gathered is pointing to the effect that those involved in some areas, and the police have taken up that matter to get deep into it to make sure that they are arrested. Because once arrested, we would make sure the law takes its own course. And
so that's Ali Dusedu. He's a Municipal Chief Executive Officer for Asokore Mampong Municipal Assembly. Let's talk COVID now. And the Ghana Health Service says it will soon introduce proposals on funerals as it strategizes to prevent a possible third wave of COVID-19. Director General Dr. Patrick Kumar-Boachi says protocols on funerals are not being adhered to. He was speaking to the media at the end of a 2-day high-level strategic meeting on COVID-19 in Kumasi.
I think as part of the protocols that have been designed includes how funerals, etc., should be organized. And just like the protocol, I think it's not being adhered to, not just by one group of people, but clearly many people are doing that. We are in discussions coming up with a proposal that limits the spread, that makes it safer. And whilst people still go ahead and have funeral, we think that it's such a deep cultural thing that it is not something you can just wish away. And so we have a draft protocol that we are sharing to ensure that, how do we ensure that we still have our funerals in safety?
Dr. Kumar Bwaje, who has been speaking about Ghana's performance on COVID-19 management, warned the country risks a third wave if the attitude of the citizenry remains the same.
There has been gradual increase in cases over the past weeks. For example, between the 11th and 25th of April 2021, a total of 968 cases were recorded for the 2 weeks period, compared to 2,500 recorded from the 1st to the 14th of July 2021. The increase in cases have largely been from the major hotspots, Accra, Greater Accra, and Ashanti region, with a few sporadic outbreaks in other regions such as Volta and Eastern regions. The rise in cases is of concern to the Ghana Health Service, and this necessitated the strategic meeting of senior managers and our partners to address the increase in these cases. Ladies and gentlemen, our current system has some inherent strengths. Capacity for case management has been strengthened with an increase in the number of treatment centers from 2 to about 70 currently, with a treatment center in each region. And this is something that has been ongoing since the last wave. Training of critical care staff and the provision of equipment has also been implemented. The establishment of the Ghana Infectious Disease Center is one. The establishment of electronic data collection system for surveillance data collection, a robust laboratory capacity from 2 in the early 2020 to 400 total currently. We also have a capacity for genomic sequencing as a country, and that we've been sequencing since the last few months. And we also have a strong expanded program of immunization that has been demonstrated since the vaccination started. However, all these capacity can be overwhelmed if we do not avert a third wave, especially driven by a Delta variant, which is highly transmissible.
The Director General of the Ghana Health Service has also been outlining the strategies that the service intends to roll out in the coming days.
So what are we resolved to do or recommend that be done? On the area of safety protocols, we want to mobilize all our opinion leaders, our religious leaders, traditional leaders, key influencers, etc., in putting in place contextual risk communication messages for locations such as schools and workplaces. We want to ensure that apart from these religious leaders and opinion leaders and influencers mobilizing people to adhere to the protocols, we are also making sure that we send messages to the schools and workplaces, among other places, and ensure that workplaces also establish and enforce the adherence of these proven protocols. We will continue to scale up our testing capacity for COVID-19. We will scale up the use of antigen testing. Antigen testing will be used as part of our rapid response in locations where there are outbreaks such as schools, workplaces, and points of entry. That's our borders, our ports, etc. We will strengthen our contact tracing and quarantine isolation. When it comes to the treatment or case management, we will continue to strengthen the capacity of the case management site, including oxygen supply. We also request that all persons who fall ill must report to the nearest health facility for testing and appropriate treatment. What we are here getting from our case management team is that people stay home, and until they get worse, that's when they come. We say that please come so that I can have early treatment and also improve your ability to survive. On the areas of vaccine, importance of vaccine in limiting the transmission cannot be emphasized. Ghana is increasing its capacity to handle different brands of vaccine, including those that require ultra-cold storage facilities. Ghana is trying to source more vaccines to cover as many people as possible, and we'll be prioritizing hotspot areas, districts, highly populated areas, and at-risk groups, that is persons over 60 and above, as indicated in the earlier guidelines. Ladies and gentlemen, despite all these efforts, vaccine hesitancy needs to be tackled so as to ensure the maximum vaccine uptake when the vaccines are available.
So that's Dr. Patrick Kumabwaji. He's Director General of the Ghana Health Service, speaking to the media at the end of a 2-day high-level strategic meeting on the COVID-19, especially given that we're now seeing a surge in the numbers. Let's do some discussion. Let's have some discussion on this. And I'm joined on the line by Professor Gordon Awendare. He's Director of the West African Center for Cell Biology of Infectious Pathogens. Good evening and welcome to Newsnight, sir.
Good evening.
So I'm sure you heard the steps that government intends to take to avert a full-blown third wave. Dr. Patrick Kumabwaji, among others, said that they're going to be scaling up testing capacity. They're going to be stepping up contact tracing. They will also employ the services of influencers and influential figures in society to persuade people to adhere to the protocols. What do you make of all these recommendations?
Well, I think, all the things he said are great. So, enforcing the protocols is very important. That's where we have been very weak. As soon as the cases go down, people relax and then stop following the protocols. And then we have a new variant in town, which is spreading quickly and is taking advantage of the lax enforcement of the protocol. So that's very important. I was also happy to hear that they are going to deploy antigen tests. That's something I've been calling for the last few weeks or few months, actually. So let's roll out more antigen testing. Let's make sure that hospitals have antigen tests to quickly screen people and take appropriate measures to treat them and protect others from being exposed. Let's even make it available to workplaces so that people can quickly screen their staff when it's necessary. And then when there are suspected cases, let's make it available in local pharmacies. Let people go and pay and get a test when it's necessary. Like he mentioned, early diagnosis is very important, not only for the person who's infected to get appropriate treatment, but also to protect their family and colleagues, because once the person knows that they are infected, then hopefully they will take steps to isolate and protect themselves from colleagues.
Right, Doc. Now,
and then he also said they are making efforts to get the vaccines, which is the most sustainable solution. We know that is going to take a while because global vaccine supplies are very limited now. So we are not going to be able to make a significant, progress in that direction for the next few months. So we need to just adhere to the 1 and 2 that he mentioned there, enforcing the protocols and trying to get better at diagnosis using the antigen test.
Right, and speaking of enforcing the protocols, one of the difficulties that government is facing now is people's reluctance to adhere to the protocols. Some have suggested that government ought to enforce the executive instrument to compel people to adhere to the protocols for their own sake. Is this something that you share?
Yes, I think especially for large gatherings, people are still having large funerals and large weddings, and those are the places that most outbreaks start from. So I really think they have to get very firm on those things and, really sanction people who flout those regulations and still hold large events. They need to be sanctioned. And if we set the tone and sanction a few people, it may send a signal. So I think, the law has to bite a little bit in that direction.
Very well. Thank you so much for your time. That's Professor Gordon Awendare. He's Director of the West African Center for Cell Biology of Infectious Pathogens. Staying on this, the president says the COVID-19 situation in the country will get worse if people continue to ignore the safety protocols instituted to limit the spread of the virus. Now, all regions in the country currently have active cases except the Upper West region, as 2 more persons were confirmed dead from COVID-19 recently. We can hear from the president, who says people have let their guard down. He was speaking at an Eid celebration in Accra today.
The COVID-19 pandemic is still with us, unfortunately. And this has meant that for the second year running, we are having to hold a subdued Eid celebration. As we continue to count on the grace of God to protect our country from the ravages of the pandemic, we can only minimize its health effects and avoid a full-blown third wave if we continue to be responsible and observe the safety and hygiene protocols. The recent increase in the number of infections is a source of worry for me and indeed for all Ghanaians. From the rising numbers, it is safe to conclude that we have let our guard down and we're beginning to live our lives and conduct our businesses as though we are in normal time.
President Akufo-Addo there. Now, the Ashanti Regional Police Command has denied allegations that personnel deployed to Kumasi Girls SHS assaulted the students. Some students allege they were assaulted by a police and military team deployed to the school to calm rioting on campus. The students went on rampage Monday evening after being denied a midterm break. Nana Ojima has more.
The Ghana Education Service on Monday released a statement asking school authorities to prevent students from taking their midterm break. After the message was communicated, students of Kumasi Girls and St. Louis Senior High Schools were unhappy, showing their dissatisfaction by demonstrating. At Kumasi Girls, students went on rampage, destroying some school property. Ashanti Regional Minister Simon Osei-Mensah confirms deployment of the security.
But we asked the security to move there to maintain peace and order. So now the police is calm, there's peace at the place. Don't forget that if you go to Asantuma, they have several cases of COVID there. Do you understand it? And one person can just bring it and spread it across the school. So we will talk to both Ministry of Education and then Ghana Health Services and get a common ground for all the students.
According to the students, security personnel deployed to the schools included police and military men. Students of Kumasi Girls claim the officers assaulted them even when they retreated to their dormitories.
We were chanting, we want to go home, we want to go, we are starving, we don't have any provisions.
So it's true that you broke Veronica buckets?
Oh yes, we did. We did break Veronica buckets, but we didn't intentionally go and break anybody's car. We didn't do that. We were there in the dormitory when soldiers came around, they started lashing us, caning us, not with canes, with sticks. Big sticks, they started caning us. When you're even lying on your bed, they'll come and pull you down and they'll start caning you.
Yeah, get financial house prepared. They came there and they banging the door, forcing to come in, and they came and started beating her back, her face, like everything is like she's red, cry.
Because I was scared. Nightmare. You see, I was see soldiers coming. It's like somebody is chasing me. All they were doing with canes and guns. You know that they are guns. They'll do it.
The police has, however, refuted claims they used force to calm the students. DCOP David Ajiman Ajem is acting regional police commander.
I mean, it will be foolhardy for any police officer or military man to go into a girls' dormitory to attack girls. No, I don't think that is true. But what had happened was that the information I had monitored and directed was that the students had been unruly, they had destroyed school property. So we sent in police officers as well as Operation Calm Life Men. And as you know, the Operation Calm Life Men are made up of soldiers and policemen combined.
And Nana Ojima filed that report. You're still listening to the Eid al-Adha edition of Newsnight. Stories gone by. 16-year-old boy killed by stray bullet and another injured in the Eid celebrations at Aboabo in the Ashanti region after a group of young men fired gunshots indiscriminately to mark the day. Also, Ghana Health Service will soon introduce proposals on funerals as the service strategizes to prevent a possible third wave of COVID-19. We heard from the Director General of the Ghana Health Service. After the break, when a $1 million check gets you in trouble with the law.
So the check was a faith check, not real check. Faith, Faith.
Renowned man of God, Apostle General Sam Koranchiankra explains circumstances surrounding the wedding gift for his daughter, which has the GRA running after her. Details after business, and George Rafi is here. George.
Hi, Robs.
When are you giving me a $1 million?
I'll give you $10 million. Don't worry.
Is it a real check or a fake check?
It will be in more of a bond, so you can redeem it later, not right now.
That's also good. What's in business?
Well, coming up in business, experts call for increase in local production of foodstuffs to deal with the surge in prices of some imported goods due to high freight cost, and mixed views on sale of livestock during the 8 other celebrations in the metropolis and some parts of the country. The business news on Newsnight is brought to you by MTN Business. Welcome to the new world of business. Kingdom Books and Stationery, your number one stop shop for all your office essentials.
So the projections from the first quarter show a higher total gross profit for the fiscal year.
A bit me a casa saying,
Nana, goods not land you. He did a port ready.
A bit me a say.
Here are your items. Thank you for coming.
A bit me a casa saying,
yes, 2 for 10 cedi, me no 10 cedi, 2 for 10 cedi.
Well, just you know, a bit me a codening and found home business away. The beer will be a you has a wow. MTN Business Solutions made to enable your business stay ahead of the pack. Trishayen, mtn.business.gh at mtn.com. Fre Anna was happy. 0244 308 111. MTN, everywhere you go.
Son, we are so proud of you for setting up this hospital. I really love those hospital beds and waiting chairs. By the way, did you import them?
No, Dad, I didn't. I actually got them from Kingdom Books and Stationery right here in Ghana.
Wow. We also bought our office supplies, safes, executive desks and chairs from Kingdom, and they gave us expert advice on how to set up our office.
Guys, that makes 3 of us. I also got our sofa and bedroom sets, plus our dining hall furniture for our new home from Kingdom.
Wow, Mom, that makes 4 of us. I usually get my stationery items from Kingdom, and my teacher also mentioned that our classroom furniture was provided by Kingdom.
So there you have it. Whenever you're thinking about setting up an office or acquiring furniture for your home, etc., Kingdom Books and Stationery should be your first point of call. With over 40 years experience in the industry, we stock and supply a wide variety of globally sourced office and home furniture, stationery and equipment. Visit our head office, Osu Akwaje, or our office near the Osu Stadium. We're also in Tema Community 1, opposite Olam SHS, Kumasi KNUST campus, UCC Cape Coast, and now at the Marina Mall, Airport City. Or call us 0302 764101, 764209, or 762792. Visit our website www.kingdomgh.com.
Allianz Insurance since 1890. At Allianz Life Ghana, we have a wide range of life insurance packages to suit all pockets, from individuals, groups, associations, and businesses. We cover your employees, your funerals, pensions, children's education, and your future. Call us on 0302 267 892 or visit our website www.allianz-gh.com for more inquiries. Allianz Life, we secure your future.
Joy 99.7 FM.
Welcome back to Business on Newsnight. Now, some experts drawn from various business sectors in the economy are pushing for an increase in local production of foodstuffs. It follows reports that the surge in prices of some imported goods and foodstuffs on the market can be attributed to hikes in freight cost. Financial consultant Charles Mensah is one of these experts who have been sharing his thoughts with Joy Business.
I think it's high time that there should be a strategy where, if you take flour, for instance, we can produce flour here. I recall that some years back, Brazil started doing cassava bread, and cassava was grown locally. So if you take bread, for instance, we should be able to have a strategy to have alternative, and the cassava bread is there, and it's all locally produced. So it will not be affected by the container freight charges or whatever happens, or the shortage in China in terms of production, factories going down. So we have to develop and continue to encourage local production by using local raw materials. We can't do it because if you take what happened during the COVID situation where the sanitizers were all imported then, in no time, Ghanaians pick up the challenge and they all started producing sanitizers here locally.
Charles Mensah is a financial consultant. Accounting and tax firm Deloitte has actually published a guide to financial information on 44 African economies, including Ghana. It provides a comprehensive update on taxation and regulatory landscape, including exchange control regimes as well as investment incentives. George Akoma is actually the tax and regulatory partner at Deloitte Ghana.
Economic statistics such as inflation, GDP, interest. It also provides insights on basic economic statistics such as inflation, GDP, interest rate, and market size. This guide serves as initial information or guidance to investors who are looking to invest into Africa, and it provides them an overview of what initial regulatory requirements that they need to be aware of as they look into the African countries. Deloitte does this on an annual basis to provide a guide or some sort of information to business people who intend to invest on the continent.
Tax and regulatory partner Deloitte Ghana, George Akoma. There has been mixed views about sale of livestock before and during the Eid al-Adha celebrations by Muslims. Now, this festival is often associated with slaughtering of livestock, which see sales actually picking up before and during the early hours of the celebrations. However, a visit to some markets showed the sales hasn't been that good here in Accra. However, the picture was different in some parts of the country. Techiman Market, Anis Sabet, has been engaging some trader and a customer.
Kasuwan da gaskiya kowane lokaci muna cin sa kowane shekara dai, amma shekaran gade na ce kasuwan ya daɗi sosai. Me yasa zan ce ya daɗi? Mun ce ba kuɗi. To ba kuɗin nan kuma ana sayan shanaye sosai.
For Abba Caesar, who is here to buy the cattle, the prices are quite outrageous. As we speak now, he's not been able to buy the cattle for the Eid al-Adha celebrations.
This current year, the cost of the animals are outrageous.
So for him, these are some of the contributing factors to the reasons why the prices are quite outrageous.
And that's the Bono correspondent Anna Sabet speaking to a trader and a customer at the Chiman Market in the Bono region. And that's all for the Eid al-Adha Day celebrations of the
Eid al-Adha.
Eid al-Adha.
Or say Eid Mubarak.
Eid Mubarak is just a general greeting, but the day celebration itself is Eid al-Adha. It had the business edition of Newsnight.
Thank you so much, George. Now, it was a wedding gift that got tongues wagging and set social media alight. I'm talking about the $1 million check presented to Nadromo, daughter of General Overseer of the Royal House Chapel, Apostle General Sam Korankye, at her wedding last week. Listen to her friends make the presentation.
But we are born international.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's $1 million.
Well, the Ghana Revenue Authority, in a letter to the bride and cited by Joy News, said its attention has been drawn to the $1 million gift and is seeking audience with her. Joy News understands that the authority will be asking her to pay tax on the gift. But ahead of that meeting, her father has been explaining what happened. He says the check was a faith check. Listen.
The second generation are a group of youth, young professionals. They've just finished school, they've just started working, and they belong to the second generation, the 2G group of women who are under Royal Ladies Ministry here in Royal House Chapel. They presented the dummy check of $1 million to their friend. I think during the presentation I had even gone home because I was tired. These young people, if you follow them, you could break down. Unfortunately, some people did not catch the idea of the presentation They thought it was real money that was presented. And then quickly, they turned the headlines. Sam Kranshankra gives to his daughter, who got wedded, $1 million, and the thing went boom, viral. Thank God that they are prophesying that one day I'll give to my children millions of dollars. I bless God. Let's give God. So the check was a faith check, not real check. Faith. Faith. These young people are saying one day they believe God that on occasions like this they will be able to present a check of $1 million.
So that's a General Overseer of the Royal House Chapel Apostle, General Sam Kranshankra, and he says it's a faith check. Make of that what you will. Now, Volta region is known for its rich cultural heritage. It has been described as the tourism hub of Ghana with a variety of tourist attractions to boast of. But has the Volta region story been told enough? My colleague Emefa Apau went back home with other ambassadors, Kafuide, Bernard Avle, Jifa Beho Bampo, among a host of others, and put together these sights and sounds from some tourist sites in the region.
The art, the history, and captivating tourist attractions kept me awake all night in anticipation of what I was to see and experience on this journey I'm about to embark upon. I love the Volta region. I am passionate about everything Volta, not because I come from there, but because of its rich culture. I spent the weekend in my birth region exploring God's gift to this beautiful region, together with a few out of the many voices and ambassadors of the region, including Bernard Avle, Jifa Beho Bampo, Kafuide, Ivy de la Prosper, Maoli Free Kojovia, Fred Avonyo, among others. The journey started from the clean coastal line, known for its intellectuals, oldest buildings, powerful families, and the first stop was Vume, the town known for poetry. We are off to the Sokakopa Beach Resort for a sumptuous lunch and more.
What did you do, airlines?
The Volta region is a microcosm of Ghana. It is an embodiment of Ghana. Everything you want to see in Ghana is right in here. So once you come in here, once you visit Volta, you have experienced Ghana. Go home and sleep.
My next visit will take me to the monkey sanctuary, the snake farm, the white clay pit known as Agatawe or Ayelo at Amfuega, among others. That trip will be soon, so catch me if you can. But by all means, be at this year's Volta Fair in November. Visit Volta and experience Ghana.
Indeed, visit Volta and experience Ghana. And on that note, we wrap up Newsnight, the Eid al-Adha edition of Newsnight. Our top story, a 16-year-old boy killed by a stray bullet, another injured in Eid celebrations at Abuabo in the Ashanti region after a group of young men fired gunshots indiscriminately to mark the day. Also, the Ghana Health Service said it will introduce proposals on funerals as the service strategizes to prevent a possible third wave of COVID-19. There's more news on myjoyonline.com. Remember, we are your home of independent, fearless, and credible journalism. I'm Araba Koomson.
Station with the best music. Best music.
I love the music.
I
say, I'm a serious. The same got to moon, I'm a sissy. Ya kwa mi kubi ya ba me ba na me na se kan ya ma konta cause we are simo bi show bibe timi ya ju ma den na ma jipe aban you met so men chinipi nsa din ka krevi men boni mi Friday wa kubi na ma club mi na ba ya wa kuya na ma toke one corner one gana so oti asia na yama I run to my bro mi na kamada ba music na me be no aba.
Keep the frequency clear.
Tell me about Kamani. Tell me about Kamani. Get me the shabby. I got to get in the shabby. Tell me about Kamani. Tell me about Kamani. I get to get it, come in the shabby. Get to get it, come in the shabby.
Praise the Lord, hallelujah in the best. What's in your nyame? All by your mercy and your grace, I am grateful.
Joy 99.7 FM.
I'm a shining star.
Last year by this time I'm daddy. Me this car, me go to but I'm a planning. I know what I could do more routine I have me. Dima teme kame kuti bona babe kame. Boka my sam de bia minte. Mene oka na se minte. I'm focused. The best I'm own boss. And chen on a fit. I'll be boots and ben I'm at it. They say my songs be a real one crown. And so mean to be a just 7 crown. I know go round from me. Today them say they be. None in a minute I say. Mama Tafon got a tiase. Tell me Pano Kamani. Tell me Pano Kamani. Can't get to give me the shabby. I get to get in the shabby. Tell me Banaka, tell me Banaka, I get to get it, come in the shabby.
Could you possibly rewind and come again?
Okay.
Say, I'm a serious. The same got to moon, I'm a sissy. Ya kwa mi kubi ya ba me ba na me na se kan ya ma konta cause we are simo bi show bibe timi ya ju ma den na ma jipe aban you met so men chinipi nsa din ka krevi men boni mi Friday wa kubi na ma club mi na ba ya wa kuya na ma toke one corner one gana so oti asia na yama I run to my bro, me now Kamada. But music, I'm a baby, no aba. I'm a baby, no aba. Tell me Pano Kamani. Tell me Pano Kamani. Can't get to give me the shabby. I can't get to get in the shabby. Tell me Pano Kamani. Tell me Pano Kamani. I get to get it, come in the shabby. Get to get it, come in the shabby.
Praise the Lord, hallelujah in the highest. Nyawa in your nyame, what's in your nyame? All by your mercy and your grace, I am grateful. You've turned my life around, now I'm a shining star.
Last year by this time I'm daddy. Me this car, me go to but I'm a planning. I know what I could do more routine I have me. Dima teme kame kuti bona babe kame. Boka my sam de bia minte. Mene oka na se minte. I'm focused. The best I'm own boss. And chen on a fit. I'll be boots and ben I'm at it. They say my songs be a real one crown. And so mean to be a just 7 crown. I know go round from me. Today them say they be. None in a minute I say. Mama Tafon got a tiase. Tell me Pano Kamani. Tell me Pano Kamani. Can't get to give me the shabby. I get to get in the shabby. Tell me Pano Kamani. Tell me Pano Kamani. I get to get it, come in the shabby. Get it, come in the shabby.
Praise the Lord, hallelujah in the highest. Nyawa in your nyame, what's in your nyame? All by your mercy
over the news, all over the news. Only God and I know the kind of thing I do, the kind of thing we do. Man, I thank God I got the lead. Say God no ungodly. Oluwa ain't comforting me. When these people they come body me. Man, I thank God I got the lead. Say God no ungodly. Oluwa ain't comforting me. When these people they come body me. It's why I die sometimes. A little Henny and ice. Make a fitty cool my mind. Make a live this life. Oh, I'm a leg. Oh, kill it, boy, no. Make I play you my cassette, you. Anything you sell is a market, you. Try to they look from my aspect, you. They loud them at the handset, you. Me I know fi drag it shine. Oluwa na be my kanji down. Me I know they try to connect the light. I just want Charlie boy day, make Charlie boy day. Man, I thank God I got the lead. Say God no ungodly. Oluwa na ain't comforting me. When these people they come body me. Man, I thank God I got the lead. Say God no ungodly. Oluwa na ain't comforting me. When these people they come body me. It's why I die sometimes. The little Henny and ice. Graffiti cool my mind. I just want to live this life.
So many things where they bother man. Stress from friends and family and brother man. Man living like an animal. When a problem goes, life comes with another one. But I'm a God, I'm a stronger man. I be different breed, my kind no be number one. I'm not trying to be the number one. So many legends there, I'm just trying to be another one. But sometimes it be like say I want my out. All the pressure I knew I allow. It be like say I don't tire. Sometimes it be like say I want my out. All the pressure I knew I allow. I just wanna be alone. I don't wanna see no message on my phone. Nothing they do me, you should know. I just feel like I should do this on my own. I just wanna be alone. If no be love, na money palava. If no be stress, na woman and drama. Competition, people they para. Too much beef when I no be malam. Now God they do, I'm not be my power. Grace na coco, the talents na jara. So I lock myself inside my yara. Go down on my knees and I call on Baba. But sometimes it be like say I want my out. All the pressure I knew I allow. It be like say I don't tire.